The topic for the GD today is work from home, good or bad. This work from home, good or bad. That is the topic of GD for you. I'll give you 2 minutes to think over it, and then we start discussion on that. Work from home, good or bad. Think for 2 minutes and then we start it. All of you need to be visible in GD. So the moment we start, then okay, so can we start now? Please unmute each one of you and let's
Yes,
start
sir.
our discussion. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I would like to take the opportunity. So, good evening, sir, and all of the members that are present today. I am glad that I have got the chance to say something about the topic that has been given today. That is, work from home is good or bad. So, if we talk about the current scenario, it is good because we don't have enough time to just spend on the work itself. We have so much less time to make our personal requirements or something else. So it provides the compressed work and saves time from our hectic schedule. Apart from that, it is a cost-friendly approach from both the employer and employee side because if for the organization there is the cost of lighting, there's the cost of entertainment, there's the cost of refreshment, and also there is defined communication that is indulged in any office scenario. So it is from the employer side, but on employee side we need to transport daily, we need have to have transportation और other खर्चे जो हम डेली एक्सपेंस अपना करते हैं ऑफिस जाने के लिए, तो वो एम्प्लॉय के साइड से हमारा बचता है. और आफ्टर द पैंडेमिक we have seen that it is just an advantage or a boon for everyone's life because on that pandemic situation where all over the COVID was spreading, COVID bacteria was spreading, काम में कोई रुकावट नहीं हुई और हम लोग अपने घर पे रहकर बहुत अच्छे से काम को तरीका दे पाए. सो इन माय पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, वर्क चाहे ऑफिस से हो या फिर होम से, वर्क को अगर अच्छे से तरीके से किया जाना चाहिए तो वो इट इज गुड फॉर एवरीवन्स लाइफ. सो इन माय पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू इट इज गुड एंड आई वेलकम यू टू ऑल टू ओपन द डिस्कशन. थैंक यू फ्रॉम माय साइड.
I would like to add some points, and I would like to endorse some of Sneha's points. And the work from home has some good points, has some bad points. The good points, of course, are we can work almost any time and anywhere, wherever we want. If we have the proper device to do it, it can reduce the float. It can also increase the efficiency. We can multitask. Also, it is very efficient and very it has proven to be very beneficial for IT and software industries. But with all these goods and pros, we have some cons too. Like it is hard to maintain confidentiality if the work is very official and very of very secretive nature. Secondly, it also reduces employment because the offices will be shut down, and due to that, there will be reduction in the manpower and the employment. As in offices, we require a lot of people to maintain the office, like sweeper, cleaners, to maintain some to for some maintenance work also. And but along with this, there is another plus point that it can reduce pollution because people will be going out less and less pollution and traffic will be there. So it is a mixed bag. And as we can see, the industries are churning out the best of both worlds with the hybrid mode. I would like to conclude now.
I would also like to add a point. I think work from home has helped us to digitalize our work, which in many ways will benefit the DG Abhiyan of India. Secondly, I think I would like to point one con of it. I would like to point for beginners, specifically for beginners. Earlier, when we used to work from office, it was easy for the beginners to learn the things because all the seniors were around them in case they needed some help. But now, because of online, I think it is possible, but it is little bit difficult for the beginners or the freshers who get into the jobs to learn the same things, which takes more time, which decreases the productivity. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I will say something about work from home is good or bad. In according to my view, work from home is very good for because it provides very good flexibility for the working time hours as well as the reducing expenditure of employer cost. But it is valid only for IT sectors or for online media because other administrative job, other type of job, it depends job to job because only it is valid for like IT jobs only. Other administrative job, it is not valid because they need a physical movement from one place to other place. On the other, employer cost also reduce because every expenditure of the infrastructure is going down because they will not spend on the electricity or other for places for building rents, other things will be reduced. So it is very helpful on one side for work from is good. Some bottlenecks are there for the bad things.
I want to pull all of your attention towards some of the good aspect or positive aspect of work from home today. That we need to retain our employee in any kind of organization. For retention, work from home is a boom because we know about the conflict that we face in our organizational scenario. Apart from the conflict, we have workforce. Sorry, we have our own responsibilities जिसके कारण हमें घर में बड़े होते हैं चाहे वो स्पाउस हो या फिर किसी और वजह से तो उससे क्या होता है एम्प्लॉय अपना सारा फोकस वहां पे नहीं लगा पाते और धीरे धीरे उनमें बोर्डम या फिर मोनोटोनस की सिचुएशन आने लगती है बट वर्क फ्रॉम होम होने से उनके पास इतना टाइम बचता है कि वो अपना वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस को बहुत अच्छे से कर सकते हैं और उसको एक पॉजिटिव एस्पेक्ट में दे सकते हैं सो इन माई पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू वर्क फ्रॉम होम इज गुड
I would like to add to Mr. Sachin's that work from home is limited to only like tech sectors, like where working from a remote position is possible. In most of the professions like engineering or construction, running a restaurant or a shop, physical presence is needed.
Ganesh,
So,
your voice is
work
not
from home
audible.
concept.
Your voice is not audible.
Is it audible now?
Yes, audible. Yes, audible.
One second. I would like to add to Mr. Sachin's points, like the work from home sector is limited to mostly IT and tech sectors. The other sectors are professions where the physical presence is required, like construction, so say running a restaurant or just a shop.
Administrative.
Physical presence of people are required. Like you can't run an industry solely based out of work from home model or a hybrid model. Though you can apply the hybrid model even in industries where physical presence is not required, as from like administrative sector or like people who are high in ranks, where they can give orders or run the business remotely. But in most of the cases, physical presence is required. And also, I'd like to add to Ms. Neha's point, like uh, how she told it would be beneficial to people who are working from home, that they'll have free time, like to have a work-life balance, and how Mr. Kabir told, like the pollution would be reduced, or like traffic situations, like where people traveling or the commute times will be reduced. But one thing, like even Infosys director or people from major IT companies are complaining, is that people are exploiting the situation. Like some people are moonlighting, like working in different companies at the same time. So that has to be negated. Like we have to see how people are retained and solely concentrated only in that job, like uh, how to retain them. So that's
I'm sorry, I'm slightly disagree with what Ganesh said. If we talk about the IT companies, only work from home is not limited to that arena only. We are, as I am going through the HR, so there is a recruitment policy through which we can work from home. Uh, we need to maintain the data on the SAP में हमें data maintain करना होता है SAP में. तो वो आप घर बैठे भी काम कर सकते हो, जहाँ पे हमें ह्यूमन कैपिटल की जो भी चीजें होती है वहां पे डेटाबेस तैयार कर सकते हैं, या फिर हम किसी एम्प्लॉय को रिक्रूट करना होता है तो वो हम उनका डाटा निकाल के घर बैठे भी काम कर सकते हैं. एंड आई वांट टू अपोज द पॉइंट ऑफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव सेक्टर. यू नो, इन एडमिन सेक्टर देयर आर टॉप अथॉरिटीज व्हिच होल्ड्स दैट. तो हम उनके काम को घर पर नहीं ला सकते, लेकिन जितने भी ऑपरेशन वाले काम होते हैं वो मिडिल लेवल पे होता है. तो हम मिडिल लेवल पे जितने भी एम्प्लॉइज हैं उनको हम घर बैठ के काम करवा सकते हैं. तो ये मेरा पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू था.
I am completely disagree with this. Middle persons cannot do all the work from home because they manage, they supervise the work.
Not all the things. Not all
Yeah.
the things I have discussed. I
Because
have
they
discussed
manage,
सब arena.
supervise actual level पे फील्ड में जाके काम करना ही मिडिल लेवल को बहुत जरूरी है. टॉप मोस्ट.
I would like to add a point. See, if we see India as a whole, it is mainly based on primary sector.
Based on
Kayur, are you speaking or did your voice
Oh,
get
sorry, just was on mute. I would like to add a point. If we talk India as a whole, it has majority of its growth, or it has majority of its dependency on primary sector. And work from home for primary sector, I not think it is ever be a feasible option. So I think work from home is applicable to very small and tiny part of India, that is IT. Secondly, I think you told about us the recruitment drive which happens online. So all of you must agree the recruitment drive which has happened online or through work from home has degraded the quality of the employees which were being hired. I hope you all agree with me. So kindly put some point if you want to.
Sorry,
Yes, Kayur has some legitimate points. And we can also see that if we go back to our COVID days, then we were having online classes. And as far as I remember, very few of the students grasped that knowledge, what we were taught in that online classes, and used it. All of us, most of the students didn't even listen to the recordings of the online classes. So when there is leadership or teaching or some mentoring going on, it is very hard to inculcate those qualities in students, or very hard to teach the students. And secondly, if for a new employee, work from home is a very bad option, as a new employee needs to be trained. As we can see, new employees were hired like anything during COVID. And now we can see there are mass layoffs. Yes, there is recession also. But I believe that another reason might be because the employees are very inefficient, because they were not trained, they were not made to go through the rigorous training which a new employee goes in his initial years, from 9 to 5, staying in office, learning the office language, and adjusting himself to that culture and curriculum. So work from home has its own benefit, and I totally believe that the corporate sector is, as it is totally profit oriented, they'll find the best of the both worlds. And we can see now the hybrid mode coming out, which I mentioned earlier. So now I would like to focus on some more positives. Of course, everything has positives and negatives. So one positive can be a person can focus on a second business, maybe opening a YouTube channel or some mentoring classes or some business, some stock market in between of his work. And secondly, for since today in progressive societies, male and female distribute their roles in their family as well as in their work. Work from home gives opportunity for the family members to look after their family, and it is very easy to manage the family and manage the work. And of course, there is a cascading effect due to work from home, which has revolutionized the IT sector. Like we have a very robust mechanism called Zoom, in which we are talking. This Zoom was possible because work from home became the primary source of work during COVID. So I would like to conclude my points.
Kabir, I agree with your point, and I think all of you will agree with me. As the work from home culture has flourished, it has empowered women, or I should say housewives, to learn something or to expand their business if they want to. If suppose someone want to, I would like to, if you want to start a food channel on YouTube, many of the household and housewives have started, and they have flourished. So I think it's a boon for female empowerment.
It is a boon for everyone, I believe.
It is a boon for everyone. Especially, I like to point for the women who were initially not employed
Yes.
because they thought they didn't have any quality. Because of work from home and digitalization, they knew that they can do something.
I agree from Kayurji. Whatever he said women empowerment, and really women empowerment has done during the COVID time and work from home strategy, whatever our we have used work from home technology, and women empowerment is the basic.
One example I would like to give is that I have a friend of mine, his elder sister got married before COVID, and she was a working woman, and her in-laws were not happy that she was a working woman. But due to work from home, she was working and managing the household chores also. So though a person who is qualified should work, but this work from home system has empowered everyone to work as well as keep their family members happy. So that was the first example which I saw.
I want to drag your attention to the different dimension. Even various surveys indicate that home workers are less prone to take sick leave, and this has released by Canada Life Study. So we can say कि मतलब ये health aspect से भी बहुत अच्छा है कि हम work from home में रहते हुए बीमार कम पड़ते हैं और ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से छुट्टियां भी कम लेते हैं. You all can add your points और मतलब in the session को end करें जैसा आप लोग बोलो.
Ganesh, would you like to end the session? You have spoken.
Yeah, I would like to end this. So, am I audible now?
Conclude it.
Yeah.
Am I audible now?
Please conclude.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So like everyone pointed out, work from home started as an anomaly. Like due to the COVID situation, work from home came into force. Like companies like corporate started using work from home as an option to let the work continue. But as the COVID situation got back to normal, like a normal situation, it got subsided. People like the corporates, especially IT sectors, maintain the work from home model. Like some people are using hybrid model and some companies are using normal model. Like the positive things, like many of you pointed out, is people having their own time, able to do an extra hobby or a side business or learn something, start a YouTube channel. The negative sides, like some of you pointed out, is how people are missing out on the training part or learning skills which are essential to grow as a person or in a company as a professional, like missing personal skills, developing communication skills or leadership skills, which you can only acquire through your presence in an environment where it's possible to grow both as a person as well as a professional. So I would like to say, though it started as an anomaly because of COVID situation, in distant future it might be turned into a hybrid model, like where people will be required to work for 3 weeks a day. I mean, 3 days a week in from home, 3 days at office, or something like that. A hybrid model comes in where people are required to be present at the workstation to continue the work. So that's my take. I think I've concluded. I think I've covered everyone's points. Thank you.
Okay, so first that you should not try to conclude before the time. Try to speak out and never take a decision on your own to conclude the session. Never do that. अगर आपका बीच में से suppose you people are not getting points, does not mean you abruptly conclude the session. Don't conclude till the observer says so. Keep giving your inputs, keep talking. So that practice you have to develop. Second is like always keep sticking around the topic. Don't forget the topic. If it is work from home, you should not eventually deviate into online offline education. So don't take it far away. There may be linkages, I understand, but don't take it far away. Just stick around the topic and cover, those domains which are related to work from home, because the observer wants you to speak about this topic. Work from home, stick around it. Third, find out the dimensions in which you want to discuss it. Firstly, secondly, thirdly. So divide it into dimensions. So if work from home, good or bad, this kind of topic. So in this topic, there is a question actually. What do you think is good or bad? You need to take opinion first. So the introduction would have been like, okay, friends, the topic given today to discussion is work from home, good or bad. In my opinion, we all are aware what work from home is, because we have seen now that a lot of work from home activities during lockdown, and now lockdown is over and things are coming back to normalcy, but still there are certain permanent things, good or bad, which COVID has given us. And this is one of the, I'll consider, good thing which COVID has offered for workplaces. And we should discuss this topic in terms of work from home, the advantages. No, there is no compulsion on the companies to work from home, to allow employees to work from home. So largely they are acquiring it for the betterment, I mean for advantages of the company. It may be bad for the employees, sometimes it may be bad for the company. So let's discuss this entire topic in the categories of what is good about work from home, and what, if at all, there is bad, what is bad for work from home. So now I open the house for discussion. Divide it in two ways, and then mention very clear points. So observer appreciate if you talk very straight. Work from home, friends, let's talk about what is the advantage of this from employer perspective. From employer perspective, like IT companies, they don't want to give the rent. They want to take the benefit of the talent which may be sitting across the globe. They want people to work in the odd hours. So they don't want to make use of infrastructure like light, air conditioning facilities. They want to save that money. These are advantages. Disadvantages for the company: training cannot be provided, so monitoring cannot be done. Those are the bad for companies. From the employee perspective, what is work from home, what is good? It offers them flexibility, space and time. That is a good thing for them. They can sometime, like, think of working mothers, they can take care of kids also sometime, and they can take care of their work also. So it has given a lot of flexibility to women employee, work from home. So maybe you can be at any part of like, you can make a very good coordination with your spouse. Your spouse is working from Delhi, you are working from Bangalore. How shall you work together? If work from home is there, you can manage that. That's the advantage. And you can work in the companies which are across the globe. Sitting India, you can work there. Sometimes you can work in the odd hours. So these are advantage from the employees. And what are the disadvantages? That work-life balance which we talk about. There has to be balance. When you bring office home or you take home to office, does not work. Work from home, that is what exactly you're doing. So that is a bad thing. Socialization part is missing. You don't get properly trained. You learn from your seniors, which you don't do here. Even if you're putting a lot of effort, sometimes you're not observed. Those are the bad things from employee perspective. So बहुत ही straight रखो. So conclusion will be like, friends, work from home is not good or bad in itself. Depends which company and which domain you are working from home. So it's advantages there, disadvantages are there. We have to come across the disadvantages and convert that into advantages. That is how it has to be. Okay, so this is what is to be done. That's all from my side. Now, as per feedback is concerned, I think Sneha talked, Kabir talked, and to some extent, Kayur was speaking. I mean, Ganesh and Sachin were not participating much. Kayur was also participating less. So if I am to pass in this GD, I'll pass Kabir and Sneha only. Other three will not pass. You need to contribute, you need to speak, and with passion, with energy. Discussion time, you should be energetic. It should not be done lazily. You guys are looking all lazy. Energy होना चाहिए participate करते रहें. You should not look like lazy. जैसे चुपचाप बैठे हैं और नॉडिंग भी नहीं कर रहे हैं, जेस्चर पोस्चर नहीं हो रहा है. डिस्कशन में सब एक्टिव मोड में पार्टिसिपेशन करते हैं ना, वो नहीं हो रहा है तुम्हारा. That you need to do. प्रैक्टिस करो, प्रैक्टिस से आती हैं चीजें. Got it? Anything you want to ask?
Sir, sometimes there's a halt in discussion, but suppose like I have spoken recently and there another guy spoke just after me and there is halt, and sometimes we get hesitant that okay, I just spoke recently, should I now add, because there is dead silence in the group. So what should we do in that situation if we have points and there is dead silence but we have just spoken recently?
Ask the question, ask others question and bring. That is what the discussion is actually. वो तब हो रहा है क्योंकि तुम 100% अटेंटिव नहीं हो. अगर अटेंटिव हो तो डिस्कशन कभी खत्म नहीं होता है, चला रहता है. अटेंटिव होना है, पॉइंट्स लिखने हैं कॉपी के ऊपर. आपको पता होना चाहिए इसके बाद मेरे को ये बात करनी है. डायमेंशंस में डिवाइड कर लो ना. जैसे मैंने 4 डायमेंशन में डिवाइड किया. व्हाट इज गुड फॉर एम्प्लॉयर, व्हाट इज बैड फॉर एम्प्लॉयर, व्हाट इज गुड फॉर एम्प्लॉय, व्हाट इज बैड फॉर एम्प्लॉय, और फिर उसको डायरेक्ट करते जाओ. तो फ्रेंड्स, लेट्स डिस्कस फ्रॉम द एम्प्लॉयर पर्सपेक्टिव फर्स्ट. व्हाट इज गुड फॉर हिम. Okay, we have discussed what is good for him. Now let's discuss what is bad for him. Now let's discuss what is good for employee. Now let's discuss what is bad for employee. तो जब तुम डिवाइड कर लोगे तो डिस्कशन बड़ा स्ट्रीमलाइन होगा. लेकिन आप डिवाइड नहीं करते हो, स्ट्रेटेजी नहीं बनाते हो, तो कुछ भी पॉइंट आ रहा है वो तुम बोल रहे हो दिमाग में. तो डायरेक्टर नहीं है तुम्हारा डिस्कशन. तुम्हारा डिस्कशन हाईली नॉन डायरेक्टेड है. कुछ भी पॉइंट किसी के दिमाग में आ रहा है बोल रहा है, इसको थोड़ी डिस्कशन बोलते हैं. डिस्कशन एक पैटर्न होता है, सिस्टम होता है कि पहले इसके बारे में डिस्कस करते हैं, फिर इसके बारे में डिस्कशन करते हैं. तो बाद में याद रहता है कि हमने जो डिस्कशन किया वो इस कैटेगरीज में किया. एम्प्लॉई, एम्प्लॉयर. एम्प्लॉयर को फायदा, एम्प्लॉय को नुकसान. एम्प्लॉय को बेनिफिट, एम्प्लॉय को लॉस. एम्प्लॉयर, एम्प्लॉय, बेनिफिट, लॉस, बेनिफिट, लॉस. हो गया डिस्कशन. दिस इज व्हाट यू डू एंड देन गिव सम एग्जांपल्स. देन यू हैव टू गिव सम एग्जांपल्स. Right, this is what you have to do. Practice, lack of practice and lack of some awareness about the things largely.
Sir, my snap for HR interview is scheduled with you at 8 p.m. So should I join at that time?
No, if you don't want to join, don't join.
Sir, no, I'm just asking about that.
So what is that
I
question?
want to join, sir.
If it is fixed, you join. Why will not join?
Sir, then मैं
Any question
रुकूंगा अभी या फिर join करूं?
Any other question related to GD? Any other question related to GD?
No,
Okay, चलो participate करो. Participation से आएगा ये. Start participating, right?